Minecraft oceans are deeper than you think, literally and metaphorically. For years, they were just gravel and squid, a placeholder biome you boated across to get somewhere else. But today, they have temperature gradients, they have distinct flora, they have ruins of lost civilization, or at least that's what my lore says. And they have marine life that ranges from adorable to terrifying. And if you have been following my Minecraft Field Guide series, you know that we have covered individual animals. But today we are putting the whole ecosystem together. We are going to take a journey from the beach to the abyss, mapping the biomes, dissecting the plants, and analyzing the biology of everything that swims. This is the complete biology of Minecraft oceans. And before we begin, just a disclaimer, this can change in future. So take this as a just a overview of what we have in game right now. Let's dive in. Every ocean journey starts at the edge, the beach. In Minecraft, the ocean needs a bottom layer, a foundation. Just offshore, covering the floor in most biomes, is seagrass. It comes in tall and short variants, and mechanics wise, you need shears to harvest it. You use it to breed turtles, which is 100% accurate. Green sea turtles are herbivores as adult. They graze on seagrass beds like underwater cows, keeping the grass short and healthy. So let's get to know about turtles a bit. For 8 years, Minecraft has been hiding a war on the beach. Zombies don't break sniffer eggs. They don't attack baby cows, but they hunt these. The entire undead population of Minecraft is programmed to erase this specific mob. If you ask why, well, because the turtle is the only animal in Minecraft that has a memory. It remembers exactly where it was born, it remembers exactly how to get back, and it carries a piece of biology that breaks the game's rule on death. This is the turtle, and the reason you want its shell isn't for armor, it's because it lets you breathe through your butt. Turtles arrived in Update Aquatic back in 2018, but unlike dolphins or fish, you can't just move them. Turtles have baggage, specifically home baggage. This is the signature mechanic, natal philopatry. This is the biological term for going back to where you were born. In Minecraft, every turtle remembers the exact block coordinates where it hatched, that is, its home beach. If you move an adult turtle 1000 blocks away and bred it, it won't lay eggs there. It will turn around and walk 1000 blocks back to the start. Real sea turtles do exactly this. They navigate using magnetoreception, reading Earth's magnetic fields like a biological GPS. They can distinguish between beaches separated by miles just based on magnetic signatures. It is one of the most precise navigation systems in the animal kingdom. But once they get home, the war starts. Eggs only hatch on sand, and while they incubate, every undead mob in the area gets a notification. Zombies, husks, drowned, zombie villagers, and even zombified piglins. They actively pathfind to eggs. They don't attack them, they just trample them. They stand on them and jump until they break. This mechanic exists to force you to defend them, because in real nature, sea turtle eggs are nature's popcorn. Crabs eat them, birds eat them, raccoons eat them. Minecraft simplifies the list of predators to zombies, but the feeling is the same. If you look away for 5 minutes, the next generation is essentially gone. If the egg survives the night and the zombies, they hatch into baby turtles. They are tiny, and immediately they face a new threat. Ocelots, wolves, cats, and foxes hunt them because nature is cruel and apparently so is Mojang. But if they survive, if they actually grow up, they drop a skewt. Collect 5 and you can craft a turtle shell helmet. Now, technically, skewts are the bony plates on a turtle shell. In real life, turtles undergo ecdysis, which is shedding. As they grow, the old skewts peel off to make room for new ones, which means the turtle shell helmet technically isn't armor, it's a dead skin. You are wearing the turtle's dandruff. Congratulations! But hey, it gives you water breathing, which leads us to another weird biological fact. The helmet grants you 10 extra seconds of underwater breathing. Well, some real turtles like the Fitzroy River turtle have a superpower called cloacal respiration. They can extract oxygen from the water directly through highly vascularized bursae in their cloaca. The cloaca is the exit only hole. So essentially, they breathe through their butt. It lets them stay underwater for days without surfacing. So when Minecraft gives you a helmet that lets you stay underwater longer, it implies that, well, Steve has learned a very specific, very disturbing biological trick. This game is just keeps getting weirder. The hatchling dash to the ocean in Minecraft, it's cute. In reality, it is a gauntlet of death. Hatchlings emerge at night to avoid heat and predators. They orient toward the brightest horizon, which used to be the moon reflecting off the ocean. Now it's streetlights, hotels, parking lots. Hatchlings head inland toward the light where they die of dehydration or get run over. Those that make to water aren't safe either. Sharks, fish, and birds are waiting. Only about 1 in 1,000 hatchlings survives to adulthood, and since it takes 15 to 30 years for a turtle to reach sexual maturity, replacing a population takes decades. Minecraft zombie mechanics feels unfair, but honestly, it's generous compared to the real stats. And there is one mechanic Minecraft didn't include, probably because it is kinda depressing, which is temperature dependent sex determination. Sea turtles don't have X and Y chromosomes like humans. The temperature of the sand decides the sex of the hatchlings. Warmer sands equal to females, cooler sand equals to males. Hot chicks, cool dudes. That's the mnemonic. This worked fine for millions of years. But now, climate change is heating up the beaches. Some populations, like those in Great Barrier Reef, are now producing 99% female hatchlings. No male means no reproduction, and it is a slow motion extinction event. Minecraft turtles are immune to this, real ones might not be. And then there's the diet. In Minecraft, turtles breed using seagrass. In reality, species like leatherback eat jellyfish. And you know what exactly looks like jellyfish in water? You guessed it, a plastic bag. Turtles eat them, and their stomach fills up with plastic. They stop eating real food because they feel full. They starve to death with a full stomach. We have found plastic in over 50% of sea turtles examined. Minecraft turtles are stubborn navigators that force you to fight off zombies to save their kids. They reward you for patience, protection, and defense. Real turtles navigate thousands of miles using magnetic fields only to return to beaches that are getting too hot, filled with plastic that looks like food, and lit up by cities that led their babies to the wrong way. Minecraft modeled the life cycle, it modeled the fragility, and it modeled the fact that everything wants to kill them. It is one of the game's darkest ecological lessons. So next time you breed a turtle, protect the egg, because out here in the real world, they need all the help they can get. But seagrass isn't just a turtle food. Real seagrass meadows are unsung heroes. They sequester more carbon per acre than rainforests. Dugongs and vanties depend on them entirely. In Minecraft, you can compost it. In reality, it keeps the planet cool. But as we leave the shallows and move deeper, the grass gets taller. Now we leave the coast and hit the open water. Here we had to talk about temperature. Minecraft splits its ocean into 5 distinct zones, and the cold and normal oceans are defined by one plant, kelp. It grows from the seafloor all the way to the surface, up to 26 blocks tall. Mechanically, it's a tool for terraforming. If you place it underwater, it converts flowing water into source block. You can also smelt it into dried kelp for food, or compress it into kelp blocks for more fuel. It burns longer than coal. Biologically, this is accurate. Real giant kelp, which is Macrocystis pyrifera, is one of the fastest growing organisms on Earth. It can grow 2 feet per day. It anchors to rocky seafloors and uses gas-filled bladder called as pneumatocysts to float its leaves toward the sun, creating underwater cathedrals. The temperature gradient here is also significant. Real ocean biodiversity peaks in the tropics, but the poles have the biomass. Cold waters aren't lifeless. They hold more dissolved oxygen than warm water. That's why the largest animals on Earth, the blue whales, feed in polar waters. In Minecraft, these cold kelp-rich waters are the home to the standard residents. So let's take a look at the fish in the Minecraft. Let's start with the most basic one, cod. In Minecraft, most players ignore them. They have 3 health, they flop on land, and they are a good food resource if you are in pinch. And if you know you are Minecraft YouTubers,
you know who they are associated with.
But mechanically, they are a specific fuel source. When dolphins are fed raw cod or raw salmon as well, they swim to the nearest
Shipwreck, buried treasure, or ocean ruins.
because they are locating the chest in the structures rather than the structures themselves. Breaking the chest caused the dolphin to locate a new structure with intact chest.
It's kinda like biological compass.
Historically, this bait fish built the modern world. In the 15th century, the Grand Banks of Newfoundland had cod populations so dense that sailors claimed that you could walk across their backs. They were easy to catch, easy to salt, and they lasted for months. Cod fueled the exploration of North America. They built the economies of New England, Iceland, and Norway. They were the gold before the gold rush, and then we broke it. By 1992, industrial trawling collapsed the population. 40,000 people lost their jobs overnight. 30 years later, real cod still haven't recovered. Minecraft cod are infinite. Real ones are not. So maybe keep a few in your Minecraft fish tank.
Next up, salmon. If you play on a Java edition,
All salmon looks the same.
but if you are on Bedrock edition, you get a unique mechanic, size variation. Salmon spawn in small, medium, and large. The large salmon is a beast with a bigger hitbox. It's the only mob with this random growth.
Growth size. And Minecraft gets a behavior detail right. They swim upstream. Real salmon are anadromous. They migrate from the ocean back to the exact stream where they were born using a smell to navigate. But the metal part is that after they spawn, they die. Their decomposing bodies releases nitrogen into the soil, acting as a fertilizer delivery system for the entire forest. In game, they don't feed trees, but they do feed cats. Along with cod, raw salmon is the primary way to tame cats. If you are still here and enjoying the video, drop a like and subscribe, that would be delightful.
Now, if you travel to a warmer coordinate, the water changes completely. The warm ocean. The water turns bright teal.
The floor turns to sand. There is curiously no kelp, the water is too hot for it. Instead, we find coral reef.
Minecraft features 5 types. Tube, which is blue, brain, which is pink, bubble, which is purple, fire, which is red, and horn, which is yellow.
You find them in these massive natural structures, but they also have a mechanic. If you place a coral block outside of water, it dies instantly. It turns into dead coral, grey, useless, and kinda ugly. And you need a silk touch pickaxe just to move it alive. This fragility is accidentally genius. Real coral isn't a rock, it's an animal, a colony of tiny polyps. They have symbiotic algae living inside their tissue that photosynthesize and provide food. When water gets too hot, even by 1 or 2 degrees, the coral gets stressed and expels the algae. Without the algae, the coral turns white, and that is known as coral bleaching.
If the water stays hot, the coral starves and dies. The Great Barrier Reef
Has lost over 50% of its coral to this since 1995. Minecraft mechanic, which is removed from its element and it dies, is the perfect metaphor for how fragile these ecosystems actually are.
Then we have tropical fish. Here is where the data gets kinda wild.
There are 3072 possible variants. 90% are common, but 10% are randomly generated. Finding a specific color combo is rarer than finding a shiny Pokemon. Real tropical fish live on coral reefs, same as Minecraft's warm oceans. Clownfish lives in poisonous anemones. Parrotfish eat coral and poop out sand. But the real tragedy is the aquarium trade. Millions are captured annually using cyanide to stun them, destroying the reefs they live on. In Minecraft, if you bucket a tropical fish, it becomes persistent. It never despawns. You can save it forever. Just don't put it in a tank with an axolotl because axolotls actively hunt them, even the rare ones. And you can also breed axolotls using the tropical fish. Finally, the pufferfish, the mob that kinda hates you. If you approach, it inflates. If you touch it, you get poison 4 on a hard difficulty. It drops you to a half a heart instantly. But you actually need to hunt these. First, they are the main ingredient for water breathing potions, so if you want to live and explore the ocean monuments more than 30 seconds, you need those. Second, in this new update, pufferfish are the breeding food for the Nautilus. The ancient shelled mob doesn't want kelp, it wants a poisonous balloon.
But why would anything eat poison?
Well, real pufferfish contain tetrodotoxin. It is 1200 times more lethal than cyanide. It blocks your nerves, suffocating you while you stay fully conscious, and yet we eat it as fugu, the Japanese delicacy where chefs leave just enough toxin to make your lips tingle. The inflation mechanic that is also real. They gulp water to turn into spiky ball. It is a great defense against predators, but it is a terrible defense against humans with sushi knives. Minecraft gives you a simple loop: catch, cook, eat, or bucket for a collection.
And lighting up these reefs are sea pickles. They emit light up to level 15 in a cluster. Real sea pickles are colonies of animals called as pyrosomes.
They are tunicates, that is filler feeders shaped like a tube, and yes, they are bioluminescent, that is they glow when disturbed, and so the glowing pickle isn't just a joke, it's actual science.
We have seen the prey in the kelp, we have seen the grazers on the reef, but the open ocean has a hierarchy, and patrolling this water is the smartest mob in the game, the one who kinda judges you. Let's talk dolphin.
You see a dolphin in Minecraft, and immediately the game asks an important question: are you sensible?
Or are you an completely, utterly cruel idiot? Because option 1 is to follow it, in which case you will be propelled through the ocean at frankly irresponsible speed, bouncing off coral, ouch.
Like a drunk seal on roller skates. Option 2 is to punch it.
At which point the entire dolphin family turns up to beat you senseless.
And that tells you everything you need to know about dolphins. Because they look friendly, they make cute noises, but underneath they are clever, organized, and absolutely not your friends. Dolphins were first shown at Minecon Earth in 2017 and added in Java Edition 1.13 during the update Aquatic. And here's a detail you might not know: those sounds that dolphin makes, they are real. Mojang lead sound designer Samuel Uberg visited Kolmården Wildlife Park in Sweden to record real dolphins.
So the clicks and whistles you hear in games aren't synthesized, they come from actual animals.
Even when Minecraft is being gamey, the audio is documentary grade. Good job, Mojang.
In Minecraft, dolphins don't spawn alone very often, just like real dolphins. You usually see them in small groups, 2 in Java and 3 to 5 in Bedrock. Why is that? I don't know, Minecraft logic.
Unlike most animal mobs, you cannot breed them. Baby dolphins do spawn naturally. Bedrock Edition has had them since 2018, and Java finally caught up later in 2024. Mojang explicitly rejected the idea of dolphin taming or breeding. Their official feedback states that they wanted dolphins to remain wild. You can't own them, you can only meet them. That's another reason why they added cats to the game, because taming the ocelots into cats, that seems a bit far-fetched. Dolphins in wild operate on what scientists call fission fusion societies, which is a science talk for everyone knows everyone. Occasionally, real dolphins form superpods, rare mass gatherings where hundreds or even thousands of dolphins travel together.
But day to day, small flexible groups.
They split, they reform, they meet, they separate. Minecraft integrated this flawlessly, which means the dolphins you punched 5 minutes ago has already told everyone. This is why in the game, if you hit one dolphin, the others don't go, "Oh dear, that's unfortunate." They go, "Right, attack." And suddenly, you are not being attacked by an
Animal, you are being hunted by a community.
If you choose the sensible option, the smart option,
And swim near a dolphin, the game gives you a speed boost. Dolphins great.
not because it likes you, not because you have bonded, but because you are drafting it.
Real dolphins move at speeds that make human swimmers look like a wet furniture.
Over 20 miles per hour. They navigate using biosonar, echolocation so precise they can distinguish objects millimeters apart in complete darkness. The US Navy has trained dolphins to detect underwater mines since the 1960s because their sonar beats our best technology. The military basically looked at dolphins and said, "Yes, that, we'll have that." Minecraft doesn't simulate sonar, but it captures the feeling perfectly. You are following something that understands the ocean far better than you ever will. If you feed a dolphin a fish, it suddenly knows where treasure is. Shipwrecks, ruins.
It doesn't give you a map, but it does give you a pretty cool echolocation achievement.
Which sounds magical until you realize Real dolphins do exactly this sort of thing, just with sound instead of sparkles. They have signature whistles, individual identity calls, actual names, not "Oi, you," huh? Or "Oi, fish face." Actual names. Real bottlenose dolphins develop unique whistle contours that carry their identity. Playback experiments show that they responded to their own group's whistles like someone calling them by name. So when a Minecraft dolphin leads you to a shipwreck, it's mirroring real intelligence. How cool is that? Navigation, memory, and communication. So if you are crazy, insane, and completely evil, and if you hit a dolphin, why would you do that? The pod attacks, and suddenly the cute ocean helper becomes a social animal with consequences. Dolphins aren't solitary NPCs because real dolphins don't just form friendships, they form alliances. Proper ones. Multi level coalition with memory, loyalty, and strategy. They cooperate to control territory, they cooperate to gain mating access, they cooperate to. Sir, you are in camera. You will get your chance. They cooperate to exclude rivals. Well, this is awkward. I swear I wasn't talking about you. Do you like dolphins though? Are they? Oh, I think that's no. They even have culture. In Shark Bay, Australia, mother dolphin teach calves to use marine sponges as tools to protect their snouts while digging. Cultural transmission passed down through generations. In Laguna, Brazil, dolphins and fishermen have cooperated for over a century to catch fish together. And that brings us to most important constraint. They have to surface. They are mammals. They breathe air. If they are trapped underwater for about 4 minutes in game, they start taking damage. Conversely, if they are stranded on land, they suffocate, unless it's raining, in which case they are fine. Minecraft logic. Which is why real dolphins don't spawn in frozen oceans because the ice blocks the air. And it's why real dolphins sleep so strangely. They use unihemispheric slow wave sleep. One half of the brain sleeps, the other half stays awake to monitor the environment and crucially to remember to breathe. One eye closes and the other stays open. Minecraft doesn't show the half sleep, but it enforces the consequences. Miss the surface and you die.
Minecraft dolphins give you speed, guidance, and a very clear warning that this is a social ocean.
Real dolphins do the same, just with names, alliances, tools, culture, and half sleeping brains. They are thinking animals that tolerate you briefly, help you if you behave, and punish you if you don't. Which is why Minecraft dolphins feel so real, because it isn't a pet, it's a relationship. And if you mess it up, well, you were warned.
Now we go down. Every ocean type has a deep variant that goes down to Y-64, the sunlight fade. This mirrors the real ocean's distinct zones. The epipelagic, which is the sunlight zone, the mesopelagic, which is twilight zone, and finally bathypelagic, which is midnight zone. In these deep trenches, we find magma blocks. Now, it seems normal, but they spawn in these underwater ravines, creating columns of bubbles that pull you down. That is the Minecraft version of hydrothermal vent.
In reality, hydrothermal vents are cracks in the planet's crust where superheated mineral-rich water blasts out. In Minecraft, they just drag your boat down. In reality, they are biological hotspot. Bacteria eat the chemicals from the vent, and tube worms, ghost crabs, and yeti crabs eat the bacteria.
They live in total darkness, fueled by the heat of the earth.
Now, drifting through this darkness are kinda like aliens of Minecraft, but not really.
Let's talk squid. Minecraft has two types of squid. One has been around since 2011, minding its own business and giving us ink.
The other won the most controversial mob vote in history by promising to glow and then didn't. It's the glow squid. But while we argue about whether it should exist, real squids are busy being the strangest animals on earth. They have donut-shaped brains wrapped around their throats, they taste with their arms, and some of them actually do shoot glowing mucus as a weapon.
Squids needed no help being weird.
Regular squids were added way back in Beta 1.2 2011. They spawn in rivers and oceans. They swim aimlessly and they pulse. When killed, they drop ink sacs which are used to make book and quill. That is their entire purpose. But that ink mechanic is biologically accurate. Real squids eject ink as a smoke bomb. It's a mix of melanin and mucus that obscures vision and dulls a predator's sense of smell. Some species even create pseudomorphs, ink clouds that hold a specific shape looking like a decoy squid to fool attackers while the real ones jets away. And that jet propulsion is also real. Squid sucks water into their mantle and blasts it out through a siphon. No fins, no tail wagging, pure hydraulics. They can hit 25 miles per hour in bursts.
Minecraft squids just sort of drift.
Real squids are underwater rockets.
Then came the glow squid.
Added in 1.17 Caves and Cliffs after winning the 2020 mob vote, it beat the Ice Logger and the Moobloom. People expected it to emit actual dynamic light like a torch,
which they kinda do if you use shaders, but instead it glows in the dark visually, but it doesn't light up the blocks around it in vanilla Minecraft.
It spawns in deep underground water and caves, and it drops glowing sacs, which makes signs and item frames glow. That's it. But the concept, the bioluminescence, that is very real. Deep sea cephalopods have organs called as photopores that produce light. They use it for counter illumination. By glowing faintly on the underside, they match the light coming from the surface. Predators looking up at them see nothing, no silhouette. It is active camouflage, invisibility through glowing. And the vampire squid has a trick that puts the glow squid to shame. Instead of black ink, it shoots bioluminescent mucus, a cloud of glowing snot. It confuses predators in the pitch black deep sea. It is exactly what the Minecraft glow squid should have done. Nature designed a better mob than the Mojang did.
Unlike Minecraft's dumb looking squids, real squid are shockingly intelligent.
But their anatomy is the stuff of nightmare. Their brain is donut shaped and their esophagus, their throat, runs through a hole in the donut. If a squid swallows something too big, it gets brain damage. Evolution was definitely drunk when it designed this animal. And their brain isn't even entirely in their head. 2/3 of their neurons are in their arms. Their arms are semi-autonomous. They can think for themselves. They explore, grab and react without the brain needing to micromanage them. And those suckers, they aren't just for grip, they are lined with chemical receptors. Squids taste everything they touch. Imagine if your hand tasted everything you grabbed. Doorknobs, handrails, that is the life of a squid.
But the deep isn't empty of structures. This is where ocean monuments generate, guarded by elder guardians, and inside you find sponge. In Minecraft, the sponge is just a normal block. It's a tool. A wet sponge does nothing but
Place a dry sponge and it instantly absorbs water in a 7-block radius. In reality, sponges are animals. Sessile invertebrates that have existed for 600 million years. They have no brain, no heart, no muscles. They are just colonies of cells organized to filter water. A real sponge pumps thousands of gallons of water through its body every single day. And because they can't just run away, they defend themselves with chemistry. Sponges produce complex toxins to stop things from eating them. Several cancer drugs and antibiotics have been derived from sponge chemicals.
Minecraft turned them into blocks, reality turned them into medicine.
The ocean of Minecraft isn't just about biology, it's also about history.
Scattered on the floor, we find shipwrecks and ocean ruins. Shipwrecks contain supply chests, map chests, and treasure chests. Real shipwrecks, which are an estimated of 3 million worldwide, are literal time capsules, but they are also artificial reefs. Hard surfaces in the ocean are rare, so when a ship sinks, it becomes a home. The Titanic is currently being eaten by a rust-consuming bacteria called Halomonas titaniaceae. The ocean reclaims everything. Ocean ruins are different. They are made from stone bricks and prismarine. They look like village that sank.
Real marine archaeology confirms that this happened. Herculaneum in Egypt sank into the Mediterranean. Port Royal in Jamaica slid into the sea after an earthquake. Palopetri in Greece is a Bronze Age city fully submerged. Coastlines change, sea levels rise, cities drown. In Minecraft, we loot them for fishing rods. In reality, they are the only record that we have lost chapters of human history. If you loot enough of them, you find the heart of the sea. Combine it with Nautilus shells to build conduit. It gives you underwater breathing, night vision, and mining speed. It effectively terraforms the ocean into habitat where humans can live. But speaking of Nautilus shell, they belong to a creature that is a living fossil. Let's talk Nautilus. For 6 years, Minecraft had a shell. You could fish it out of the ocean. It's funny because in real life, This shell isn't a loot. For 6 whole years, Minecraft had a remains of a creature without the creature itself. When Minecraft added Nautilus shells in version 1.13 back in 2018, they existed purely as an item. You fished them up,
You crafted conduits with them. That was it.
in the real ocean, the shell is the animal survival strategy. So for a long time, Minecraft was missing the point. That finally changed in September 2025. At Minecraft Live, Mojang announced that Nautiluses were being added as mobs, not as ambience bats, but as rival mobs. They arrived in Java Edition 1.1.1, which immediately raises a question.
In-game and real life, how does something like this even move?
In Minecraft, Nautiluses spawn in all ocean biomes, usually in groups of 1 or 2.
That mirrors reality better than it looks.
Real Nautiluses aren't schooling animals. They are solitary drifters, sometimes loosely paired, rarely crowded. They are passive in game, just cruising through the water, and the way they move is the first sign that Mojang actually paid attention. They don't flap, they don't glide, they jet forward in short bursts. That's not Minecraft logic, that's real Nautilus movement. Jet propulsion created by expelling water through a siphon. Actual Nautilus movement. If you drag a Minecraft Nautilus onto the land, it will start suffocating, which feels harsh but it's accurate. Real Nautiluses are built for pressure, buoyancy, and water chemistry. Take away the water, and nothing about their body works anymore.
Now here's where Minecraft and biology collide, but this time, Minecraft actually has a reason. You tame Nautiluses using Pufferfish.
At first glance, this feels wrong, and biologically, it still is.
But inside Minecraft's own logic, it makes sense.
In Minecraft, pufferfish are already tied to one thing: water breathing. They are a key ingredient in water breathing potions. The thing you use when you want to stay
Underwater longer than the game normally allows, or want to explore an ocean monument.
And what does a tamed Nautilus gives you? Breath of the Nautilus. This is a new status effect that freezes your oxygen bar and lets you breathe underwater indefinitely. So from Minecraft's perspective, this isn't random. Pufferfish lead to water breathing, Nautiluses lead to water breathing but permanent. In the real ocean, Nautiluses are scavengers. They eat crustaceans, dead fish, small mollusks, slow prey that they can grab and crack open with their beak. Pufferfish are not prey. They are loaded with tetrodotoxin, a neurotoxin that shuts down nerves and muscles. Real ecosystems treat them like a warning label. A real Nautiluses doesn't get a buff from this interaction, it simply dies. Once tamed, Minecraft turns Nautiluses into something else entirely. You saddle it and you ride it.
And suddenly, you don't need to breathe. In-game, that's a convenience.
In Minecraft, the shell is iconic but opaque. In real life, it's a machine. Inside a real Nautilus's shell are chambers, sometimes up to 30. The animal lives in front chamber. As it grows, it builds a new one, moves forward, and seals the old one shut. Those sealed chambers contain gas and liquid. If you change the ratio, the animal rises or sinks. It's ballast. It's a submarine physics. Minecraft skips the internals but keeps the outcome: smooth, controlled underwater movement. Different systems, same result. Minecraft also lets you breed Nautiluses using any fish or fish bucket. That choice works in game, and for once, it lines up reasonably well with reality. Real Nautiluses are generalist feeders. They are not picky. In-game, Nautiluses attack pufferfish on sight.
Which is ironic considering pufferfish are also the taming item.
That contradiction isn't a bug. It's a reminder that Minecraft mechanics are stitched together for playability, not ecological consistency.
Now let's zoom out a bit. Minecraft's Nautilus is big, much bigger than any living Nautilus today.
Real ones are about the size of a dinner plate, but the in-game model matches something else almost perfectly: Parapusposia, the largest ammonite ever found, over 6 feet across.
So Minecraft isn't really modeling modern Nautiluses, it's resurrecting their
Extinct cousin, which feels very on brand considering the sniffer, but that's for later. And this is where the real world catches up in a bad way. Real Nautiluses grow slowly. They take 15 to 20 years to reach maturity. They lay maybe a dozen eggs a year. Each egg takes a full year to hatch. Minecraft can respawn them endlessly. You can grow them up in 20 minutes. Reality doesn't. Nautilus shells are sold as souvenirs. Traps are set, animals are killed, and shells are polished and exported. And the population of real world Nautiluses are collapsing quietly. They are protected, but the enforcement is weak. A lineage that survived 500 million years of mass extinction is struggling against gift shops. Minecraft lets them respawn, the ocean doesn't. So when you ride a Nautilus through a Minecraft ocean, you're not just using a cool new mount, you are interacting with one of the longest surviving animals on Earth. Minecraft turns that survival story into mechanic. Reality wrote it with physics, time, and loss. And somewhere between the two, you get a blocky reminder that even the weird system usually have a reason. So that is the complete picture. From the turtles on the beach to the squid in the trenches, from the coral reefs to the sunken cities. Mechanically, Minecraft Oceans is a simplified version of reality. Pressure doesn't crush you, the bends don't kill you, but biologically, it is surprisingly deep. It captures the tragedy of the turtle, the collapse of the cod, the politics of the dolphin, and the fragility of the coral. Real oceans are in crisis. 90% of large fish are gone. Reefs are bleaching, plastic is everywhere. But oceans are resilient. If we stop breaking them, they recover. Minecraft shows us an ocean that is thriving, balanced, and full of life. Infinite respawns, endless blue. Real oceans can be that way too, but they need us to play differently. Thanks for watching this complete guide. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more biological breakdowns, and seriously, don't eat pufferfish. Stay wild, and I'll see you in the next one.